Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make your concealer last you all day, along with not creasing. So keep watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first things first is we have our concealer. I'm going to be using the Shape Tape, and this is in the color Tan Deep Sand. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the spoolie and I'm going to take just what's on here. I'm not going to dip back in. Take what's on here and make a little triangle right underneath and pull it outward. Do the same thing on the other side. And just what's on this brush, pull it outward. And as you can see, I'm pulling it on top of the cheekbone. And I'm not putting it directly under the eye. And we're going to take a little bit, dip back in a little bit, take a little bit down the nose. And I like to put 3 little stripes on the forehead and then 1 line on the chin. Now, if you have a bigger chin, you can probably do more, but I have a really small chin. So that is where I like to place my concealer. So here's the tip. First things first is we let it dry a little bit. Now, when we let it dry, you're gonna get more coverage from the concealer. So I'm gonna sit and let it dry for about, I say about 10 seconds. I like to take my fan and help it dry a little faster. And then I'm gonna take my little Beauty blender and blend that out. And as you can see, this is a damp beauty blender. So as you can see, when it's damp, it blends the concealer a lot easier and makes it a lot smoother. And just by me waiting a little bit for it to dry, you're gonna get that really full coverage, or the fullest coverage from the concealer. So let's say your concealer is a light to medium coverage. If you let it dry, you're gonna get more of a medium coverage when you blend it out. And some concealers too, like I am using the Shape Tape, but some concealers do dry faster. So you have to be aware on how fast it's gonna dry, and that's easily done if you just put it on the back of your hand. And then you can kind of test it out and see how fast it dries. So we're just gonna blend all of that out. And take your time while blending. And sometimes we're like in a rush to go, but take your time so you can get it to where it looks really nice and neat. And as you can see, I'm avoiding the under eye. So I'm not putting it directly under the eye. I'm kind of focusing it where I put it, and I'm just blending it outward. Okay, perfect. So then what we're gonna do, we're gonna let it dry just a little bit more. Okay, so next we're gonna take a translucent powder. I'm gonna be using the Bennye colorless powder. It's the powder I always use. It's just a really good powder, and I really like how through the day it doesn't make my concealer cakey at all. So what I'm gonna do is I'll take my little beauty blender. I'm gonna dip that into the powder, knock some of that off, and this is the key to having no creasing through the day. So I'm gonna take that little bit and I'm going to press that into the concealer that I just applied. And I'm not baking, so I'm not putting a lot. I'm just gonna press this into the concealer. And as you can see, it's matted it out, but what this is going to do is gonna keep you from creasing. Now we are going to still bake, but by doing this layer first, that heavy powder won't be sitting on there, so that won't make you crease. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I bake and it helps me from not creasing, but if you bake before you do this thin layer, you're going to crease because you're adding so much product on top of your concealer. I'm just gonna go and do it again. Just very light amount of powder, and I'm pressing it in and blending it in really well. I'm telling you guys, this will change your concealer game. I'm gonna do the same thing on the forehead, down the nose. Wherever I put concealer is where I'm doing this. Perfect. So now we're gonna go ahead and move into the baking. I'm gonna dip right back into that powder with the same little beauty blender. I'm going to place it where I put that concealer. So now it's gonna help you from creasing. I also like to bring it down on my smile lines because I get really bad smile lines. And then you can do a little down the nose and on the forehead. Just like that. I'm gonna let this bake because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna let it bake the entire time. So I'll be right back. So now I went and go ahead and added my bronzer. So I can't really do my blush yet because I do have the powder on. So I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and I'm just going to brush all of that away. Make sure we get all of it. We don't want any left over. none left over. So then what I wanna do is I wanna take a setting spray and drench that face, y'all. Setting spray is what's going to take away the powderiness and also help the concealer and everything that's on your face last through the day. This is a step you do not want to miss, especially if you are going out and trying to make your makeup last all day. And as you can see, completely flawless, no lines, nothing. So what I'm gonna do is now I'm gonna go finish my makeup and I'll be right back.